Up next on the Frankly Doria Show... Perez Hilton's blog readers accusing him of trying to create a bad romance between Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. I have the real story. Also ahead...
I guess their passion came out in a certain hallway and...
And what? Oh, come on. That was Human Resources Director and Employee Handbook stickler, Marie Makinson. If you are looking for a job, these are some tips and tricks you do not want to miss. Also ahead... The town of Sandy, Utah now has one less neighborhood bar. Okay, it wasn't really a bar, it was a speakeasy. But it was literally in a neighborhood. It's just another file from How Much Dumber Can a Moron Be? To five, what a way to make a living. Da, da, da. Oh, we're on again, aren't we? Of course we are. Never paying attention, am I? Ever. Well, hi, everybody. Now you know why I got fired from the orange juice company. I couldn't concentrate. I know, no laughter, probably because it's not a funny joke. But I tried. Do you hear that? Listen closely. That's the fan from my laptop. Why does the fan always go on when I go on? Is it trying to one-up me? Does the fan want to have its own show so it can have fans? I mean, really? Anyway, maybe I should put the microphone farther away. I don't know whether you can hear that now, and I can't really test it, but hopefully you can't. Anyway, hello again, and welcome to episode 9. Needless to say, this episode titled 9 to 5. Why? Because I have been trying for months to get my friend Marie to do an interview with me. Now, when I say months, I really mean 2, because, let's be honest, I've only been doing this since June. But I wanted to do a show for anybody who's looking for a job, anybody who wanted to get a leg up in their career, anybody who wanted to have the best advice out there possible so that they can climb that ladder. And I think we might have gotten it. Now, I do want to warn you that it is a broad range of questions and answers, so it kind of includes everybody who might be encountering any sort of different particular situation. But and then there's mostly just things that I wanted to know. So sorry, my show, I get to do it that way. But you'll learn something too, I promise. And I think I have convinced her to... Why am I repeating myself every third sentence? I don't know. I should mention, too, that I'm tired because I don't know who works 9 to 5 anymore. I really don't. I would love to have a 9 to 5 job, I think. But I have works. I have jobs. I do more than one thing, sometimes simultaneously. So, when this podcast episode comes out, for example, it's not going to be out by the deadline I've set for myself. Oh, no. It's going to be out later. When? I don't know. Because, I'm a little tired. But getting back to Marie, I think I've actually convinced her to give us a copy of a resume that is perfect in her opinion. It's exactly what she wants to see in a resume, how it should be, formatted, the whole 9 to 5. And so I think we have convinced her to give that up for us, and I'm still waiting for that. But, What else do we have on this excellent show? That's right, I should update you on the Frankly Doria World Warrior. Well, actually, I should probably just announce it. Well, Mike, why would you announce it when you already announced it last week? Why? Because all 48 of you heard it last week. 48. That's how many people listened to the show last week. 48. How do you think that makes me feel? Not so good. Now, I took 1 week off in between episode 7, 7.5, 4.2, and episode 8. And that's the thanks I get? All that hard work? Well, you're just going to have to redeem yourselves. So, I announced the Frankly Doria World Warrior. Well, you know what? We should put some theme music to it, because who wants to hear me just the whole time? Wait a minute. That's not warish music. What is this? It sounds like... This is Sean Beeson music, actually. It's not actually his music, but it sounds like music that he would make. Where am I? Hold on a second. There we go. That's Bloodbath music. Maybe a little touch loud, but we could work on that. So yeah, we have the countries competing for my visit. It is based on downloads. It is a peaceful war, the Frankly Doria World Warrior. And it's essentially whoever has the most downloads by some certain time. I haven't really figured that out. That's the country I'm going to visit. Now, I can tell you, we have a small update from last week to this week. Why small? Because, again, only 48 of you listened. 48. Not a lot changes when only 48 of you listen. China and Netherlands, you guys are still tied with the number of downloads, but I'm going to tell you, you're pretty much at, like 8th or 9th place, so you're probably not going to win. Peru, you moved up. Peru. I could see myself going there. Mike Doria's Peruvian Adventure. It's got a nice ring to it. And the same 3 people are in first, second, and third. Well, we're not counting the U.S. because, I live here, so, I've been in my own country. So as it stands right now, I'm going to the United Kingdom, followed by Australia, followed by France. Oh, I'm sorry. Canada, you are in second place. Damn it, Canada. What do I keep telling you? Stop trying, and yet you keep... What are you doing? What are you doing, eh? That's okay. So, war on, people. Listen to the podcast. Tell you who's fallen out of Russia. Russia does not like me after last week's episode. And frankly, I don't care. There was interaction, though, on last week's episode. I think it was interaction. Beans. That is his Twitter handle. He is a cab driver here in Las Vegas. And actually, I want to do a ride-along, but literally for only like 20 minutes. So do you think we could make this happen? Tweet me. Just let me know. All right. And there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember what. Yeah? I don't know.
Well, hi, everybody. I am rewinding at this point because I need to make a correction. And if my voice sounds weird, it's because you're listening to a future version of me, because I've never really had to rewind as I went back to listen to the show before it's actually published. So, apparently there's some issues with, syncing or something. I've never really done time travel before, but anyway, the correction is, we were talking about Beans. Beans is not his Twitter handle, it's actually Vegas Bears fan. Beans is just the name he uses before the Twitter handle. So yeah, and I'm still serious about that right along, Beans. And one more thing before I go back to the future and leave you here in the past. Now, I'm only 45 minutes ahead of you, but wait until you see the price of gas. Oh, and what Lindsay Lohan does next.
And then there were like 8 midgets in there, and one had his fist all the way up. Whoa. That was weird. Anybody feel that? It's like I was, caught in between like 2 time zones or a vortex or something. Weird. I feel like a deja vu, like I've been here before. I don't know. Anyway, here's what's in the news. Troubled former teen actress Amanda Bynes was denied the request to get out of a psychiatric hospital. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I gotta have a little meeting with my team. Hey, producers. Can I get you over here? Come on, everybody come in. Huddle in. Anybody who writes news. Hey, you over there. Yeah, you too. The one who makes learning disabilities look like a blessing. Come on. Now, we've had this discussion before, and I should have read the scripts before I got on the air, but you guys, come on. You've got to put news in there that's relevant, that's actually news. Amanda Bynes in a psychiatric hospital? Why is that news? I mean, that's like saying, the earth is round. That's like saying the sun is bright and hot, it's like saying that December 25th is Christmas Day. No, a real headline would be something like, Amanda Bynes making movies again. Amanda Bynes on top of her game. Amanda Bynes, productive citizen. That's news. Those are news headlines. I'll give you another example. Let's think. Congress, really good for our country. Or the mob doesn't exist in America. Or doctors in Las Vegas really aren't trying to extort money out of patients. I mean, see how those things fly in the face of logic and reason? Those are things that they intrigue us because we've been told otherwise. Now that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the kind of news you want. Now get back there and try again, you guys. And don't let it happen again. Man. All right, let's just start over with the news. Our first story, which is really our second now, in the news. Well, if I told you, go out and find me a souped-up car, you wouldn't come back with a Ferrari covered in Campbell's tomato soup, would you? Or if I said, go out and find me the hottest actress you can find, you wouldn't come back with Alyssa Milano, at 200 degrees. No. Yet one man in Utah, when somebody told him you should start a neighborhood bar, well, he literally started the bar in his neighborhood. That's right. A Utah man from Sandy is now under arrest because police say he ran a speakeasy out of his garage for years in the middle of his suburban residential neighborhood. Yeah, that's right. Jared Williams. He and his father apparently both in this little scheme. Well, they were running this business. They didn't have a license, obviously, because I don't believe that, the county gives out licenses for running speakeasies out of a garage. In fact, the last time I recall a speakeasy ever being run was about 1937, maybe earlier, 1931. Either way, we're talking like 80 some odd years. Anyway, how did police find him? Well, they converged on his house and they caught him serving alcohol to a minor. Now, the reason why police went to his house is because they started getting some complaints from neighbors that suspicious people were in there, like, random guy with mullet, girl with tramp stamp, and kids left in the car. So the police went in to investigate, and while they were in there, they say there were 7 people just hanging around drinking. Hey, stupid. If you're going to run a bar, you don't want to do it out of your house because you see how that might cause trouble? Because neighbors are used to, neighbors in their houses, going about their day, doing things that neighbors do, cutting the grass, maybe trimming the hedges, throwing the ball around in the yard with kids, not having a bar. You wonder why you got caught? Also, I want to know what this bar looked like. I mean, was the riding lawnmower, suddenly the new mechanical bull? I mean, what were you doing in there? Here's the better story. What were 7 others of you doing in this stupid bar in the middle of a neighborhood? Are you that pathetic? You couldn't have gone to the one of, 25, 30 other bars in Sandy, Utah? I mean, how much of a loser do you have to be to sit in a man's made-up bar in his neighborhood? Morons. A couple other points in this story. Police were quoted saying that, adults can have parties and adult beverages. However, when you have a bar in a neighborhood, that creates problems. Quote, sometimes people don't make good choices when they're out drinking alcohol. Well, here's another newsflash. Sometimes people don't make good choices when they're sober, like starting a bar in your garage. Also, police said that they wanted to make this case a priority because children and families live in the neighborhood. Listen, I like the police. I think they do an amazing job, but come on. The only reason you made this case a priority in Sandy, Utah is because it's the only thing going on in Sandy, Utah, besides, church on Sunday. Okay? By the way, the attorney for the arrested, Mr. Williams, said that he is puzzled why this minor misdemeanor charge seems to be given the attention that it's receiving. Really, attorney? You don't see why this story might be appealing to newscasters or the like? Nothing at all grabbed you on that? Maybe, maybe Mr. Williams is lucky that he's only charged with a misdemeanor, not a felony. I mean, I can't see how brilliant this lawyer could be in court, but it does raise another issue. Another interesting tidbit. On the one hand, you have the guy who's charged because he had a bar, and the man designated to help him could stand to use more of it. Finally in the news, some people are accusing celebrity blogger Perez Hilton of fueling a fight or a little mini battle, if you will, between Katy Perry and Lady Gaga over their albums dropping. It turns out Katy Perry's album comes out in October and Lady Gaga's comes out in November, the 11th to be exact, 3 weeks later after Katy Perry's. Well, some people on Perez Hilton's blog said that he's just trying to fuel a fight because he favors Katy Perry over Lady Gaga and doesn't like Gaga for some odd reason. Who knows? Anyway, he had a lot of comments on his blog. Not that I'll need to read them because you know pretty much what they said. Perez, you're stupid, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, though. I was actually in the room the first time Katy Perry and Lady Gaga ever kind of had words with each other. And, rather than you guys decide whether they're friends or not, but this all got started. We were all at a table. I just happened to be seated at a table with them, and Katy wanted to take the centerpiece floral arrangement home with her, and Lady Gaga wanted to wear it home. So they kind of had a couple of words. But, all right, this is how it went. I'm going